Cambridge, Massachusetts. Massachusetts is home to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, where some of the world's greatest minds are at the forefront of innovation. Researchers at MIT are developing groundbreaking technologies, including the wireless transmission of power, which has eluded scientists for years. While radio waves, microwaves, and even laser beam transmission of power have fallen short, in 2007, MIT researchers successfully transmitted power wirelessly across a room for 7 feet. This feat was heralded as the first step towards cutting the power cord, envisioning a world in which all electrical devices would be automatically powered at all times without the need for charging or wires. Incredibly, more than a century earlier, inventor Nikola Tesla had already envisioned such a world, and by some accounts, he was close to achieving that goal. Tesla's ideas for wireless power have been briefly investigated by various scientists. The tests that Tesla conducted between 1899 and 1900 in Colorado Springs verified the feasibility of wireless transmission of electricity. Tesla went to Colorado Springs to see if he could send electricity over miles, a tremendous achievement at the time. He had a huge tower, 200 feet tall, with his assistant located at the laboratory. Tesla instructed his assistant to throw the switch and fire up the wireless system when he gave the signal. Tesla walked 4 miles away and inserted light bulbs into the earth to see if his tower was indeed creating a wireless circuit with the ground. The bulbs lit up, confirming that he could transmit electrical power over great distances. However, Tesla kept the mechanics a secret, even from his assistant, who did not fully understand the details of what Tesla was doing. In New York in 1901, Tesla convinced banker J.P. Morgan to give him $150,000 for the construction of a radio station. Instead, Tesla used the money to build a giant wireless transmitter he called the Wardenclyffe Tower. The tower was 187 feet tall and extended 120 feet into the ground. Tesla envisioned receiving stations resembling the Wardenclyffe Tower at different nodal points around the Earth, where energy would be transmitted wirelessly from station to station. He even thought that this system could eventually be used to jump power to different planets. However, Tesla's dream of creating a highly efficient broadcast of wireless electricity was cut short when, in 1904, J.P. Morgan discovered Tesla's true intentions to provide free power to everyone on the planet. Without additional funding, the project was completely abandoned by 1908, and in 1917, the tower was demolished. No company or corporation wanted to give away its technology freely, so Tesla was shut down to prevent the world from having free energy. But how was Tesla able to transmit electricity wirelessly over several miles when modern scientists can only manage 7 feet? Tesla credited his many inventions to his ability to realize them entirely in his mind. He described experiencing intense flashes of light followed by moments of intense creativity and clarity, during which he would see an invention appear before his eyes in almost holographic detail. He could rotate these visions, take them apart piece by piece, and knew exactly how to build these inventions based on his visionary experiences. One of his greatest creations was the rotating magnetic field, which came to him in a flash of intuition. Tesla believed that humans were receivers, that all impulses came from the outside, and that we worked on these impulses. He did not believe that they came from dreams or inner visions. Instead, he felt that humans were, in a sense, self-propelled robots. Some ancient astronaut theorists suggest there may be another explanation for Tesla's uncanny abilities and mysterious visions. They propose that these spontaneous episodes are proof that Tesla was receiving information from an otherworldly source. These theorists believe that extraterrestrials might have been feeding Tesla images of inventions that only he could understand. Tesla himself believed that there was a knowledge base located somewhere in the universe that all of humanity could tap into if they knew how to properly tune their minds to this knowledge base. In Colorado Springs in July 1899, while testing a magnifying transmitter built to track storms, Tesla claimed to have received some sort of transmission from an unknown source. One night, while tracking thunderstorms 600 miles away, he suddenly heard 3 beeps in sequence. The pattern was mathematical and did not make sense to him. The more Tesla thought about it, the more he believed the signals came from outer space, possibly from Martians. Mars' orbit brings it close to Earth approximately every 1.8 years, and during one of these close encounters, Tesla believed he was picking up signals from Mars. He likely had a receiver sensitive enough to detect radio waves from galaxies and other extraterrestrial sources. Tesla interpreted these signals as communications from extraterrestrials, but perhaps he had an open channel that we still do not fully understand today. Tesla believed it was absurd to think that humans were the only intelligent beings in the universe. He questioned where humans stood in the intelligence hierarchy and why extraterrestrials would not want to communicate with an intelligent force on Earth. Tesla reported this otherworldly communication and proclaimed his belief in extraterrestrials in February 1901 in an article for Collier's Weekly titled, "Talking with the Planets." Tesla became obsessed with trying to receive further radio communications from other planets. Based on these transmissions, Tesla developed a theory that an extraterrestrial presence had been on Earth for millennia, controlling mankind from the very beginning. Many believe that Tesla's communications with extraterrestrials provided him with useful information that helped him build his inventions. However, Tesla's shocking revelation was shunned by his scientific peers, leading many to deem him a mad scientist. Tesla's enemies, including powerful figures like J.P. Morgan and Thomas Edison, exploited his belief in extraterrestrial communication to discredit him. Tesla had previously electrified the world with his inventions, but after his falling out with Morgan and Edison, and the revelation that he was trying to signal Mars, his reputation suffered. Tesla talked about atoms working like solar systems and light functioning as both a wave and a particle. Albert Einstein received a Nobel Prize for proposing that light worked as a particle, and Niels Bohr and Ernest Rutherford were awarded the Nobel Prize for describing atoms as resembling miniature solar systems. Yet Tesla, who belonged at the heart of quantum physics, was removed from its history, likely due to his attachment to the idea of extraterrestrials. Was Nikola Tesla simply letting his imagination get the better of him, or is it possible he really was in contact with extraterrestrial beings? The Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade, Serbia, houses more than 160,000 documents that offer rare insights into some of Tesla's future plans, including what some believe to be drawings of spaceships. According to historians, Tesla began work on his flying machine in 1910, focusing on field propulsion or anti-gravity. It is believed that Tesla discovered that high amounts of electricity could create lift in an object. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, Tesla continually talked about anti-gravity ships that could derive power from his Wardenclyffe towers, which were designed to broadcast power. Tesla claimed these ships did not have wings or fuel, they were entirely electric. But were Tesla's designs truly the first of their kind, or is it possible, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest, that similar vehicles had already visited the planet in the remote past? In the ancient Indian epics, the Vedas, there are references to vimanas, flying chariots used by the gods to travel from one point to another. Some of these vimanas were able to alter direction instantaneously, which, from a modern perspective, suggests the use of some type of anti-gravity device. This connection between ancient vimanas and modern UFO phenomena makes the idea of Tesla working on an anti-gravity device plausible. Depictions of flying machines in ancient Hindu texts like the Mahabharata might indicate that Tesla received otherworldly knowledge to design anti-gravity spaceships. If the so-called mad scientist actually did make contact with extraterrestrials, is it possible he continued to carry out their wishes? At the Singapore Air Show in February 2014, an Israeli arms company known as Rafael Advanced Defense Systems revealed details of a laser defense system capable of shooting missiles from the sky with a pulse of energy. This futuristic military hardware, called Iron Beam, is essentially a high-energy laser designed to rapidly heat up and destroy any target it is aimed at, including aircraft, drones, and missiles. The Iron Beam sounds very much like Tesla's death ray, a technology Tesla discussed in the 1920s and 1930s for shooting down missiles and projectiles. While the War Department sided with Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer's atomic bomb instead of Tesla's ideas, Israel's development of the iron beam technology suggests that Tesla's concepts were ahead of their time. Is it possible that Tesla developed time viewing or time travel technology and became aware of these future developments? Tesla was once quoted as saying, "The present is theirs, but the future, for which I have really worked, is mine." Could Iron Beam be proof that plans for the death ray not only existed but were also confiscated and carried out by the United States government? Some believe that Nikola Tesla was not only in contact with extraterrestrials but was also sent to Earth by them to fulfill a mission and usher in a new age for mankind. The big question is, who was Tesla? Was he an avatar or an enlightened being sent to Earth to help humanity? Although no one knows for sure, Tesla, like all great artists who see themselves as instruments of a higher purpose, certainly felt that he was working along those lines. There is a belief that there is an agenda for humanity and a plan, and that in every generation, certain specific souls, who are more inclined and able to receive higher knowledge, are sent to Earth. It raises the question of whether Tesla was transplanted to Earth by extraterrestrials to envision and invent amazing devices. If extraterrestrials put Tesla in place for a specific purpose, did they achieve what they hoped to accomplish? The answer may be no, because, despite Tesla's contributions, his technologies were not openly acknowledged. If they had been, the world could have been transformed into a much different place, with green deserts, desalinated ocean water, free energy, anti-gravity craft, and teleportation technology. Such a world, envisioned as a golden age, has not yet come to pass.